so it's going to be a fun one to show.
That makes sense.
And then I get to remember if you've already seen this card, you don't have to go over the whole thing again.
Okay.
Because we did our preview show, and I'm sure some of these you've already seen.
Hey, he actually saw play. I'm so happy.
Fuck. Time to put my new Sash mid-range build to the Mugen test. Can it beat Mugen? Good hand. As long as you have two playable Signies going first on your first turn, that's
Rick's
usually a good
already.
enough hand.
Not show the branded fusion yet.
With that hand on the other hand.
Chain prayers, no tribute. There's an imperm in this column, which there very well might be. This could be a problem. Oh, nice. No imperm. Okay. Ooh.
Might look stupid, but considering who we're up against, it really doesn't matter what we put in, and like this
Could
is
be the counter trap then, or I mean, I know
just
it's not
gonna rot in
technically
our
a counter
hand,
trap, but
so may
you know
as
what I
well
mean.
play it now.
So if it's not imperm, I'll use one extra.
Out of all the hands I've ever opened this Mugen, this is certainly one of them.
If it's Great Purification, they can only negate my Arthalion right now. Ooh, I think it might be Great Purification, because they're bringing back a ritual monster. This one's also kind of hard for me to out. I can negate it with Malulu, I guess. This is going to band anyways. Nice. Yeah, not that hard to hook. How are you handling the Apopis matchup with Draco Tail? I don't think I've lost one on my climb so far. I mean, yeah, okay. If they just negate your starters, then I guess you might lose. Oh, this hand sucks. That's what I hate about Albaz. But I guess if it was pure, this would just be a non-engine. Going second this hand was fine because Magnamute can search Mululu, but now we're just gonna have to survive this. That's very funny to happen exactly after I said I think this deck has a good matchup against Apophis, but I guess this card is one way to lose it. I can't beat DeFi. I did the right thing. I won the coin toss, but I didn't open a playable hand. Yeah, that's. I can make Mirror Jade with this, right? Oh, nice. I can make this, right? Because it's a dragon, if I want to. Uh,
The hell was that noise?
so what's the best thing to do here? Because I could go Chaos with double Mululu to pop 2. I pop the Dormouse, I guess, but if they have a way to keep playing, but the problem, I can make Lubellion into Mirror Jade and negate the Dormouse, I guess. Is that better? Lubellion is highest value but loses to Impulse. It doesn't lose to Impulse. I make it Chainlink 1. I make it Chainlink 1. I'm just wondering whether it's Lubellion or Chaos. Okay, let's try the Lubellion. Maybe now it's Chaos to pop both, right? Because I can fuse Albaz and Molulu for it. Yeah, Chaos pop both. Probably better than Mirror Jade. That was a pretty weird through a swarm, but okay. I mean, yeah, if they still have a play, then we are doomed. So at least the Dormouse doesn't trigger, so this alone. Okay, that also not yet. Oh, they can still normal summon. Oh yeah, they add back Dormouse now. Oh my. Yeah, we lost. Maybe still okay. How is it okay? If they just grab Dormouse, banish White Rabbit. So Arthalion was better? No. Nothing was better. What I did was fine. It's just their hand was insane. How am I supposed to beat Underground Bestial March Hare MTP07? What do you want me to do? Mysterion might have worked. No! They had Druid's Worm! A good ban list could have worked.
Shot is a strategy game with no ads.
I fucked up. Well, blue and 26 white. I mean, we got close. I take it back. We didn't just get close. We straight up fucking won. Maybe my Mugen build really is bad though. Shadowverse is right here. I can fight them. It's Neo Baroque defense, but for blue. Maybe I can play like some blue spells that draw.
Actually saw play. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on this one. Like,
Yeah, I thought this card was really good. Yeah. So I'm glad it saw play at the World Championship. It's Aang Swift Savior, 1 a white and a blue for a flash flying human avatar ally legendary. And when it enters, you get to airbend up to one other target creature or spell, and then you can water bend for 8 to transform him.
yep, he turned out to be a very useful piece in a number of ways. Like, ever since he launched in Standard, just the way that we saw it as this cool tempo hit was good. But something I know that we missed, I may have missed, I'll go that way. Something I may have missed.
Something you don't get to say very often.
Yeah, is that this is a legal card in Standard as well.
Doc Orlock, Grizzled Genius. Green and a blue for a Bear Druid. That's a typing. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2. Oh! Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah.
We like free. We like free.
Yeah. Recast anything you want for free with airbending.
Oh, that rocks.
Yeah. Oh, it rocks. It rocks quite a bit. And then when you combine it with more avatar goodies, did I show you this card?
This doesn't look familiar. It's Appa Steadfast Guardian. 2 and 2 white for a Bison ally. That's very funny. Where's Bison Tribal? Jaltho's flash and flying.
Give it time, dude. Everything will have a tribal deck.
When it enters, airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control. Whoa, that's crazy. And then when you cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 white allied creature token. Oh, this is just like crazy value. Wow.
So, play it out. If you have a Doc, and you have an egg, and you have an Appa, what happens?
I mean, you're basically just playing everything for free, right?
So, if Appa airbends Aang, and Aang airbends Appa,
It's just infinite tokens, right?
Aang. Yes.
Yeah.
On the spot. On the spot. You have infinite one
It's so funny because as crazy and like nuts as Yu-Gi-Oh is, it's like the term infinite is just something that we don't have. So it's like I always have to remember that's a thing in your game. But that's crazy.
It's right there. You have infinite tokens and you have infinite airbends. Infinite airbends also means infinite creature casts and infinite creatures entering the battlefield triggers. Also, they both have flash, so you can go off and do this at flash speed, instant speed on your opponent's turn or your turn. You can do it on your turn, then do it again on the opponent's turn. If, like, say they do 1 damage to all 1/1s or something.
Sure.
And at the end of the cycle, you finish with one of these in exile and still free, which means like the Aang can then protect the combo by airbending the opponent's like spell that they might cast to blow everything up if they try.
Do you think they planned this in design? Like when they were playtesting, do you think this was intentional? I'm just curious.
Jesus Christ, I hope not. Oh my god. Oh. But maybe I will give you a hint that the Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the most power crept push sets I've ever seen. Similar to Final Fantasy earlier this year. Final Fantasy was also like just insane across multiple formats. Like Avatar is right there. I don't know which is the more powerful set. Avatar is still pretty new, but I'm going to show you these decks. They're all going to rely on Avatar cards. It's kind of wild the impact they've had just off the rip. Just straight up showing up, throwing down the gauntlet to everybody and everything. Let me show you another card that gets to go in this deck that seems pretty pedestrian. See what you can put together.
I'm just happy I was right that Aang was good. That I feel vindicated. All right. Bramble Familiar? 1 and a green for an elemental rack. Okay, sure. It is... Oh, it's one of these cards. Okay, so it has its main line text, it's a 2/2, is you tap and add a green, so it's a mana dork. And then 1 and a green, tap, discard a card, return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. Okay? And then its Fetch Quest is a sorcery for 5 and 2 green. Mill 7 cards, then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among them milled cards onto the battlefield.
He's wondering, why are you showing me this?
I am wondering why you're showing me this. Like, it's like, it doesn't seem bad. I'm just like, hey, give me some help here. Give me some help here.
Okay. How do you think Bramble Familiar acts if you airbend it?
How does Bramble Familiar act if you airbend it? Oh my god, can you airbend the sorcery, the fetch quest?
You can airbend the Bramble Familiar off the field and then cast the fetch quest for 2 mana
for 2.
or 0.
For 0
if
you have the guy. That's so crazy. Okay, alright. I get it.
So, if you are trying to assemble a 3-creature combo, you probably want cards in your deck that help you find those cards.
That would be a good one.
That's pretty good to get a 7-mana sorcery for 2. That's
or 0.
not bad. Or 0. 0's a good number for that as well. It sure is.
Wow.
On top of that, Aang wasn't done. Aang is still showing up for work. Yeah. Aang's not finished with the job here.
Aang at the Crossroads. I don't think you showed me this one. 2, a green, a white, and a blue, which is fitting because that's all the colors you've showed me so far. Has flying. Now, no flash on this one. When it enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card with mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Oh, good! So we have even more redundancy. Man, this is looking like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This is great.
Oh,
and then when another creature leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning to your next upkeep, which I'm sure, but I think you play this for the first part. Okay. All right. Should I look at the back, or is the front all we care about here?
The back is not a bad card, but it doesn't really matter here.
Okay.
It can help you win the fair game, I guess.
Yeah, it's flying. Land creatures have vigilance at the beginning of combat. Earthbend. Yeah, okay, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, we're just playing this for more digging.
More digging, and just to Yu-Gi-Oh-fy this even more.
Nature's Rhythm. Cool art. X and double green for a sorcery. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put onto the battlefield and shuffle. Hell yeah! All right, we're just playing all the. This does seem like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This is cool.
Yep. Build your own combo. Make infinite 1/1s and interact with your opponent using Angspo Savior. You get kind of the gist here
I
of
get the
what
gist.
Bant
Yeah.
airbending is all about. So people were wondering because this was happening very early on,
Okay,
like
wow,
right when we were doing the
that was
creator
hard
Clash
punished.
events, the
What
early
the
access
fuck?
events where all the content creators play against other content creators, and the world's competitors were all invited to this too. So I might have played against some world's competitors as well. This was everywhere. People were absolutely doing this combo on day one,
Oh, I
and
bet.
it is not a fun combo to sit there and watch on Arena where you can't just say I make 500 allies. You actually one by one by one by one just keep resolving it. And then the first time you actually realize that when they pass to you, they now have an Aang Swift Savior face up as whatever spell you cast. They're also just going to airbend that spell and it's not going to resolve. Is like the extra kick in the teeth. It's so bad, dude. It's so brutal. Ah, goodness.
Crazy.
Yep. So
What a cool deck.
yeah. I mean, like I said, if we're gonna attract some Yu-Gi-Oh players to the game here, this might be the way to do it. Just assemble your combo and laugh at your opponent who doesn't have one. So that's one of the. This is one of the. What I'm going to show you are the top 3 meta decks
Okay.
from this event. And then you're going to kind of put those in order
rate
in the
them
future.
Yep.
So this is one of them. Let me show you another.
I like it. Very Yu-Gi-Oh inspired.
Already in love. I love that we get to start from here.
Going first is so strong with this deck. That piece is so good when you get to go first, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you wanna the choice of whether or not you wanna attack or just get an extra bit of value. Ah, hilarious. Oh, I'm bad at math. Very bad at math. Well, whatever. Dude. Forgot about Axia doing that. I still should have. Trashed. A bit wasteful. This is an L for Mugen again. As it turns out, our methods for aggression are quite good. I dare say. I could have. I fucking sequenced this wrong, like an idiot. Oh, and I'm fucking out of resources. I was counting my enter again.
Already, already in love. I love that we get to start from here.
Grand. Okay. For context, I never saw Avatar, so I don't really. Aside from like knowing A, just from like pop culture, that's really like all I know. It is a Blue legendary creature human peasant ally, a 1/2. Whenever Grand becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay? And then non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast as long as there are 3 or more lessons in your graveyard. Okay. I think I remember when we talked about the avatar cards at first. There were like lessons matter cards, but I don't think you showed me this one.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. The first time it's played against you, you're like, "That's cute," but what do you like? What do you think of it? I will show you some lessons in a minute. The general gist on lessons is that they are cheap spells that do reasonably good things. They do fine things, not broken, just fine.
Yeah. I mean, if there's like a lessons matters sort of deck, I mean, this seems like it would be like a nice staple for that. There's not really a way to tap Grand just to get like the draw discard, unless there's like a lesson that can do that potentially, and then maybe there's some combo shenanigans there. But she doesn't have a way to like do it herself aside from like just attacking, I guess. But I guess if you have multiple of this because it's cheap, then like the lessons all become free, right? Because if you just get if you meet the threshold on lessons, then it's like they become 2 less or 3 less. So then like maybe there's some shenanigans to be had there. So it seems pretty good on paper.
She is a legendary creature, so you can only you can't just replace Grand. You can only have one Grand.
Sorry. But, how can I be so silly?
But there might be other ways to get the effect that we'll get to. I'm also just gonna spam some lessons at you.
Gotcha.
You don't have to read all of these. We're gonna put them on screen as well. They all generally are like kill a thing, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like one does 2 damage but can deal 5.
Straight up
you 4 extra. One does damage equal to the number of lessons in your graveyard plus 2, and then it exiles. Yep. One is a counter unless they pay 2 more. So you can imagine all of these getting their cost reduced is good, and that you could play all of these in a format that had a lot of creatures. Pretty comfortable.
Sure. And notably, these are all like 1 and a color. So like if you have Grand out and then you meet the threshold, then they all just become half price essentially. So that's pretty significant.
Yep. Those are pretty good. Now I'm going to introduce you to another lesson. Might matter a little.
Okay. Accumulate Wisdom, another very cheap lesson that becomes even cheaper. 1 in a blue for a instant lesson. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Put each of those cards into your hand instead if there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard. The fuck? So this is wait, hold on. This is draw 3, and then if you have Grand and you meet the threshold, then it only costs 1 to draw 3. That seems insane. That seems nuts. What?
That's what snuck into the spoilers.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish I had shown you this lesson, Pot of Greed, a little sooner.
Pot of Greed? This is way better than that. It's draw 3. It's not even draw 2.
As they mentioned maybe a few times on the broadcast over the weekend, we have a card called Ancestral Recall in Magic history. It's banned in everything and everywhere, and it's a member of the Power 9. So if I showed it to you, it was a long time ago. And it's 1 mana, draw 3. That's the card.
That's basically what this is like harkening back to, essentially. It's like build your own Ancestral Recall. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they put that in the format, in Standard.
That's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong? How could that be bad? So as long as you can get lessons in your graveyard, and I've shown you a number that just basically kill creatures and interact with the opponent.
Yeah, which also buys you time to get to your win condition.
Yeah, and then you have a Grand, you have this, and you have draw 3. It's not bad.
Wow.
Not bad.
That seems pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
So when you have that going, now you can stop the opponent's plays, or at least delay them pretty good. Like Quench isn't a permanent counterspell. Eventually the opponent will play enough lands so they can pay for a Quench.
Sure.
You'll kill their small creatures, but they might play something more resilient in the future. So we gotta get our opponents dead. Alright? So Yeah, so there were a few different versions of the deck that showed up, and I'm not going to overquiz you on this version or that version, but I'm just going to show you some different cards from the version.
Sure.
If you want to tell me what you think is good, could be fun. So here is a card that is just legal, has just been in this format.
The fuck is this? Any Merc Crab? 5 and 2 blue for an elemental crab, of course. Why not? It has flash, because of course it does. It costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Oh, convenient. What are all the lessons? It enters tapped if it's not your turn. It enters tapped if it's not your turn. Enters tapped if it's... Okay, so if you flash it in, it's tapped. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was hard for me to understand. And then when it enters, you tap up to 2... Oh! Now we have a way to tap Grand! How convenient! Yeah! Would you look at that? Oh, it's just all coming together now. Interesting.
I'm sure that somebody has tapped Grand with this. It's much more likely that you tap the opponent's stuff.
Yeah,
so
no, I
kill you
know.
and beat them to death. But that is really funny that you went right there.
I was just looking for the way to draw more cards, you know, because apparently accumulate wisdom wasn't enough cards for me to draw.
We are the same person. Yeah, apparently Grand likes to be tapped by crabs.
Apparently.
That's just the way. You know what? There you go.
That's what she's into? Hey, so be it.
But we're not done learning our lessons. Let me show you another one.
Boomerang Basics. I think you may have showed me this, but let me give it a read here. Blue for, this is a sorcery, so it's not instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control that permanent, draw a card. Oh, so you just keep bouncing your own crab back, recasting it, re-tapping stuff down. Oh, that seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's good value right there.
That's pretty good value. Yeah.
Value. And another staple, we'll say, is this card.
Storm Chaser's Talent. This is a 1 blue for an enchantment class. So when you play it, when it enters, you create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. Okay. Prowess is when you cast something, it gets like +1/+1 for the turn.
Right? That's right.
Okay. And then level 2, you pay 3 and a blue. When this becomes level 2, return target insert sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And then level 3 is 5 and a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature token with prowess. But notably, with the Boomerang Basics, you could just keep bouncing back the Storm Chaser's Talent and keep summoning more and more otters with prowess. And because you're playing a deck that has all these instants and stuff, they just become fat otters to just like kill your opponent. Is that what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, they're basically when combined with Boomerang Basics, you're looking at an endless stream of 1/1 otters that are actually attacking as like 3/3s or 4/4s because your whole deck triggers it. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is. So these were not all played in the same deck. Like some played the crab, some played the otter.
No, everything you've seen here is played in the same deck so far.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said there was like some differences.
There is. I'm about to show it to you.
Oh, okay. I was getting ahead of myself.
So the crab is super popular. And this one did see some play, and it had seen play in the past in various decks. So it was a bit of a known entity in the format. But then there's this card.
Monument to Endurance. Cool art. 3 mana for an artifact. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You either draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. Whenever you discard a card. Aside from Gran, what is discarding a card?
Well, it would be nice, right, if maybe you got to discard a card every time you cast a lesson. That would be a pretty cool card to have in it for this type of deck, wouldn't it?
I imagine there might be something coming that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, imagine.
Artist Talent. It's another class. This one's 1 in a red. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Oh, it's like they just drew it up. It's like they just give you everything. You complain about Yu-Gi-Oh! Giving you everything that you want. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, remember when we could only have one Gran? Read chapter 2.
Oh, I didn't even get to that point. Non-creature spells you cast have non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Perfect, because why not have more reduction? Why not just have more reduction while we're at it? Because that's so necessary, right?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. So you get the gist of this. If every lesson is also a discard draw, is also fueling your draw 3, is also removing something, or is also dealing 3 damage to your opponent. You got a little, fun little machine here. What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
So is Monument is that like the actual win con? Is that eventually you just drain your opponent?
One deck is on Crab Boomerang, and the other deck is on Artist Talent and Monument to Endurance.
Okay.
So those are the 2 kind of paths for the deck. Do you have an opinion of what you think is the better path?
That's a good question. I want to say the Monument version might be better because, why would you care about interacting with your opponent?
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh player brain here. Like, if you have the means to just kill them without interacting with them, then just do it that way. Like, why go through the effort? So just burn them to death. I don't know. That seems like the path of least resistance to me. What do I know?
Yeah, I'll tell you more of the breakdown when we get to figuring out the final numbers, because it is interesting that some people they found almost the same deck, but they went 2 very different roads in the end game. It does give you a hint that it was a good deck, that the raw shell got the job done for a lot of people.
Yeah,
for some number of people, but the end game could be different and still succeed. It's kind of wild.
I think, to be fair, the Boomerang Crab version, it does give you, I guess, a bit more defense, right? Because you can just keep tapping your opponent's stuff down, and then they theoretically can never hit you. Where, the Monument version doesn't really have that same sort of resilience, in a way. Because, I mean, at that point, you're relying on your other cards to be able to hold them off from killing you. So, I guess I can sort of see the argument for both ways, but I'll be curious to see what the end result was.
All right. That is your Is It Lessons pile. The other one was your Bant. Bant is the green, blue, and white color combination. Bant Airbending pile. So going into our third pile that we're going to check out, this one is kind of got elements of both.
This is what we were dealing with.
It runs Boomerang Basics and Storm Chaser's Talent. So assume that those are all in the deck already, because that's an insanely good combination of cards that probably should exist. There's another card that is in the Bant Airbending deck I haven't shown you yet, that is also in this Teamer Otters deck we're about to do. I'm going to show that to you now. You might remember it.
Good day for a date.
That's one way to use Urshkigal. One second for once. Solo towel. What the fuck?
Our Otters deck we're about to do.
Oh fuck.
Our Otters deck we're about to do. I'm going to show
Until
that
you
to you
see an
now. You
ad
might
playing
remember it.
immediately.
Oh, my favorite Cub. I was wondering when you were going to show up.
Badger Mole King Cub.
Everyone loves the Cub. I was surprised that this wasn't running rampant all over the place, so I'm glad you are showing it to me. Yep, I remember the Cub.
Yeah.
I remember my reaction to this was just like, I was like offended that they printed this card.
And you were insanely right, because in the very first streamer event, I don't think I was even an hour into that event before I had already seen multiple opponents with 10 mana on turn 3. So,
Awesome.
oh my
Right.
god. Yeah, there are ways to like copy this for just 2 mana in the format.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't
So
even
that
see
you,
that.
yeah, me either. Or I showed you some of the tutors, like Nature's Rhythm, right, is in the format.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just go search. Like, it turns out searching for Badger Mole Cub for 4 or 5 mana using Nature's Rhythm or Archdruid's Charm is still busted. Which means this card should have been a 4 or 5 mana card and would
Exactly.
still get played.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, when you think about power scaling, that's nuts.
Unbelievable. All right, so let me show you more of this deck that's titled Teamer Otters. It's also kind of a combo deck, as all of these in many ways are. They can win with traditional attacking. All of these can. They can beat you down with otters or whatever creatures they have, or they can make a combination that just ends the game. Check this out.
Teamer is red, green, blue.
Nailed it. A+.
Okay. I'm still learning. All right, this is Enduring Vitality. 1 and 2 green for an enchantment creature, Elk Glimmer. 3/3 with Vigilance. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana. Oh, awesome, great, because that's exactly what we needed. Pair that with the Cub, perfect. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
And then, if it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. Interesting. So it's an enchantment creature, and then it comes back, and then it becomes an enchantment. So then it becomes. I imagine is enchantment like removal not really like too common to come by.
Creature removal is incredibly common to come by. Enchantment and artifact removal are both more difficult.
Right. Okay. So then you just get the value anyway. Not to mention this stacks, because why not? If you have multiple, that's great.
The Enduring Vitality does give the ability multiple times to creatures, but they can only tap it for 1.
Oh, okay.
So
never mind.
it does.
So it's not as crazy. It's not as crazy as it could be, but it's still pretty crazy.
Yeah, the Cub stacks. The
Cub stacks.
The Cub stack. Yeah, when you have more Cubs,
Why?
you get more mana.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
it stacks. Yeah.
Kind of insane. So, Badger Mole Cub is also in the Airbending deck, along with a bunch of like Llanowar elves, mana
I kind of
that tap
shocked
for
if it
mana.
wasn't, to be honest.
In the Otter deck, the Cub doesn't go with other mana dorks. It just has Enduring Vitality with it, too, basically.
Okay.
On its own, of course, it's a very awesome card. But then when you combine it with Enduring Vitality, every creature now taps for mana, double mana.
Right, double, essentially.
It's sickening. Then, you know what? There's enough otters running around. Let's keep working with some otters.
Valley Floodcaller. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 Otter Wizard. that has Flash. You may cast non-creature spells as though they have Flash. That's fun. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, birds, frogs, otters, and rats you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, and you get to untap them. I imagine that doesn't stack?
Oh, if you have multiple flood callers, it does.
No. If you have one flood caller and play 2 non-creature spells.
Oh, it does. Like each trigger resolves separately.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess like Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain, the way it's worded, I feel like that wouldn't work. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
No, that's a good question.
Okay. Gross. Disgusting. Yeah. That's pretty good.
yeah.
In the context of everything you're showing me, that's nuts. Yeah. It's basically just like the otters already have prowess, so it's like double prowess trigger now, essentially, right?
And they tap for mana.
And they tap for mana on top of it. Yeah.
You cast a spell, you untap them, and they're
just like the most swole otters you've ever seen in your life. Like, I just want to see like these otters have like giant just like huge muscles because that's like what I'm imagining this deck looks like.
Yeah. So now put the Boomerang Basics and the Storm Chaser's Talent into the mix. What you have is level 2 of the Storm Chaser's Talent gets back an instant or sorcery from the graveyard to your hand. Boomerang Basics returns a permanent from your battlefield to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have a total of 5 or more mana produced by rats or otters or frogs or birds, you can cast Boomerang Basics on Storm Chaser's Talent. You then use the Storm Chaser's Talent to get back the basics. You cast the basics again, and each time you cast the talent or the basics, you are untapping and retapping these for mana, and they're getting bigger.
Right, and so then basically they have essentially like infinite power at that point.
Power equal to your deck because you have to draw a card.
Right, yeah, because you have to draw a card. Yeah. Like enough that it's going to kill the opponent in theory.
Yes. If they can't stop you right there using this handful of cards, you can go off, hop all the way off. That's one more fun card from the deck because why not?
Jeez. This is crazy. It's funny because out of like all these things you've shown me, like these decks seem like very like Yu-Gi-Oh-esque like decks where they just have like these very easy to set up combos and then they just go off and
this is not normal. This is not what Standard has ever been.
CG is like, this isn't my magic. This isn't my Standard.
I don't know who let the Yu-Gi-Oh players into the building, but goddamn, you're not wrong. Which is why I really wanted you to cover this World Championship with me, because this is nonsense. But anyway, check out the song.
Song of Totentans. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, it's a sorcery that costs X and a red. Create X 1/1 black rat. It's weird that it's red and it makes black rats, but I guess whatever. Create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this can't block, and then creatures you control gain haste. Oh, and then you just give them haste. Oh, now there we go. That just solves everything. Yeah, not to mention, hold on. And then the Valley Flood Caller also buffs the rats.
Yeah,
we're done. Yeah, we solved magic. We solved magic. We did it.
And if you dude, that's so crazy. Each rat, if you have Enduring Vitality and Badger Bull Cup, each rat taps for 2 mana.
For 2?
Yeah. Even if you don't have Boomerang Basics in circulation, if you just have a Storm Chaser's Talent lying around and you get back the Song of Totentans and cast it again using the mana from the other rats, that then buffs all the rats and untaps them again, and they all have haste.
And they all have haste, you just keep going.
There you go, you Crater Hoofed. You're attacking for 1 billion damage like it's Commander, using this card. What happened?
You're playing Commander Standard.
Yeah, kind of. Yu-Gi-Oh! Commander Standard. I don't even know what this format is anymore.
This looks fun to me. I don't know.
Yeah, you're throwing a party on this? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good. You can help us make sense of everything that happened here, because now you've been introduced to the decks, all right?
This is what happens when you get a taste of power, CG. You can't go back.
You're not wrong. It is incredibly hard to depower. In fact, some of the more dark ages of Magic have been the sets that followed the really powerful sets. And when we look back on those sets, we're like, actually, they were really good, and people have learned a fondness for them. But like, we're talking about like Kamigawa block, Masks block, things like that depowered us from overpowered formats. People at the time hated them. People took breaks from Magic. People were like, this is lame. I'm like, please take me back to Concept.
You're always chasing the high. You're always chasing the high.
Remember when Dig for Time and Treasure Cruise were busted?
Oh my god.
Those are so slow. I mean, they would probably see some play in these decks, to be fair. But I
was about to say, let's not get too crazy.
Twice in a row in a single game.
Maybe not. Oh my gosh. So, here's our three front runners. These are the three most played decks in the 126 player field from the World Championships that happened last weekend. The other category, people who did not register these decks, and keep this in mind, this is a brand new format. They had to do their own testing and figure this stuff out. VV was the
really? So there was no other I was gonna say, give me the background on the preparation.
Oh, yeah. So there's the ban window was moved up to November 10th, so there would be more time for the players to test for the World Championship. In the window since the ban, there have been standard events, but nothing on the scale of 100K first prize finish. Nothing with this many stakes. So very just kind of no pro events, really, for standard, between the bannings and this, and the release of Avatar. So the new Avatar set comes out, and VV, Prosthetic Memory, and Screaming Nemesis all got banned. The format is, in theory, very fresh. A lot of untested stuff. And like I said, Avatar, all these decks have Avatar in a big way. Avatar is looking busted.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm sure the stakeholders are happy about that one.
When you put that together, it means not everybody going to Worlds, even the best players in the world, found these decks, found these interactions. So, while you might talk about your various Yu-Gi-Oh decks that have an 80+% meta share, the other
90, thank you very much.
90%, thank you. The other category for this, decks that were not these three, is 53%.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. 53% of the world's field found either A, found none of these, or B, found things they thought could beat them.
Okay.
That's pretty wild. I mean, pretty good meta.
These are pretty insane decks. I mean, we've done a lot of these videos. These look pretty crazy. So,
yes. So, your first task here. Now there are 47% of the meta left to go. Assign a percentage to each of these three decks. How many people do you think played each of these? Split up among that 47%.
Before I get into that, just a bit of context on how the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship works is basically because the Asian territories and the non-Asian territories have two separate formats, essentially. They basically make
I think all of my fucking shits are my life burst.
In a simplified way, if a card is banned one place and not banned somewhere else, they always go with whatever the worst case scenario is. So they'll ban cards that are banned in one territory across both territories, if that makes sense. So the players have to on the fly. Right. So the players on the fly kind of have to figure out what the new best decks are given this custom ban list that they make for. Because remember, we're an eternal format, so it's different for us.
In a way that's cool, and in another way that makes the meta and the results of the tournament and the lists used in the tournament less relevant to the average Yu-Gi-Oh player, right?
Exactly, yeah, that's where people have some issues with it. It didn't always used to be this way, but for the most part, that's how it has always been, and yeah, it's kind of weird that it's its own made-up format, but it is what it is. I thought your audience might be interested in how we do things, but okay.
Cool. It sounds cool, but I wish that it also came with the caveat that after Worlds, those cards that were banned at Worlds are banned in both places for a period of time afterwards, so people could play the format. You know what I mean?
What they do is they do what's called the Worlds events, where during the weekend or the week of the World Championship, you're at your LGS, you can play under the World's ban list.
See, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like prizes that are like exclusive to the World Championship time that you could like win going to your LGS to play under like the World's ban list, which is kind
I
of
like that.
you know?
I think that's a good thing. Yeah,
It's
that's
kind
really
of
cool.
it gets people to be able to like get into it and stuff too. But anyway, we're not here for that. So
one more thing, because you made me think of it, is there is also a limited avatar. So like open packs and play against other people who open packs is a big component of the World Championship as well. There are limited players out there who are going to get mad if I don't mention it at all. I don't care about that really. It's like, I'm just sorry to break your heart. I don't care about limited. But yes, it was an important part of the World Championship, and it did impact who made the top 8. So
sure,
our numbers won't be as pure as I'd like them to be if it was all standard, but that's fine. It's okay. Okay.
So, am I trying to guess the percentage within the 47%?
Yeah.
What you were saying?
Yep.
Okay. So I have to give 3 numbers within the 47% that made up the whole meta share. Let's see. Which of these?
Yeah, my
Did I have, like, the
last
strongest
3 life
visceral
bursts are
reaction
all
to?
fucking
I want
servants.
to say it was the one. I want to say it was the blue red deck, just because I like drawing cards. I guess. It's like all these decks are doing the cheating mana thing. Like that's and they're all doing
I've
something
seen through enough
unfair
of
in
my
their
deck to
own
know
way.
that that is very much the case.
I'm just trying to think like what's the most resilient of the bunch. Because I like, again, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain. I like the blue-red deck because you basically just don't really have to interact with your opponent. You are interacting, but like your win condition can effectively be just, okay, I'm just gonna kill you with this artifact, essentially. Like you really don't have to do much else other than like execute your game plan. With Monument, can you trigger it on your opponent's turn?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I figured. I just wanted to clarify because it seemed like a trigger. Okay, so that expedites the clock significantly then as well, because now you can deal like 6 damage through a full rotation, not to mention anything else that you have. So that's pretty fast. Okay, so they all have the mana cheating thing. The deck has like the infinite 1/1s. The blue-red deck has, I mean, basically like just infinite value, to be honest. And then the green, blue, red deck also sort of has like infinite power theoretically. This is tough.
They all. I feel like any of these decks in a meta by itself would be a monster.
Oh, sure.
It's kind of wild that they're all here together. That they all. Yeah. Oh my god.
I feel like if they weren't all here against each other, then that would be a problem.
Yeah, you face it against, like, even a few months ago, one of the best decks in the format was Mono Red, which is, like, attack you with dorks and burn you with spells. And it looks like a whole different game. While you're thinking about it, fun other facts from the meta, if I can find it here.
Yeah.
Mono Red, one of the best decks in the format for the longest freaking time. How many people played this? Did it even make the list?
Wow.
Oh my god, I think one person played it. Yeah, there it is, one person. One person played Mono Red Aggro. 126. Wow.
Okay. I think I'm going to put blue-red deck at the top. And the reason I say that is because it, like, it's not really, like, looking to... It has combos, but it's not like the combo is, like, essential for the deck to win. Because if you're not comboing and like doing the crazy, like the actual crazy stuff, you're still drawing a crap ton of cards. You're still getting just like insane value for each of your cards. It's like you have all this like just incremental value that's just piling up like over and over and over to the point where it's just like you kind of just like out resource your opponent, that it has like this inevitability that I feel like the other two decks don't necessarily have. And so
I really don't think it was a
I
smart
want to
idea
like
for
put
them to
that
play Blue
as like,
Archives here.
probably a front runner.
3 Angel with 3 different levels
So maybe
practically
I
demands
have
you
what,
to play nothing but
47% to
Angels
work
in this
with.
deck.
Yep.
So maybe I'll put like 20% for that for now, and then maybe I'll come back to it later. That means I have 27% left.
Yep.
So then it's between the Otters and the Aang deck.
No, they're just
And I
dead.
think this one's a bit more difficult because I feel like both of these decks sort of do similar things in different ways.
Shouldn't they have gone 1, 2, 4?
I think I like.
Perhaps they are confident in their life burst to save them.
What do you like most? Like,
Or they have
which
another
deck
defense?
which deck has the thing that you like, and why do you like it?
I like the Aang deck better because it
All right.
just, like,
Wow, that
anything,
was very
right?
bold.
And I feel like that, like, because again, both of them have the ability to generate insane amounts of mana because you have the Cub, you have all these things, right? They have all this. They have very similar tools in a lot of ways. But the fact you can airbend and do a lot of crazy stuff with that, I feel like is a little bit more unfair than the Otters. And so I'm tempted to put it above just because of that. So I think 7%. So maybe 15% airbending, 12% Otters. Let's see if I'm happy with that decision.
20% lessons, 15% airbending, 12% otters.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think the airbending and the Otters deck are close. I think the airbending deck might just be a little bit more unfair.
Okay.
So that's
lock it in.
I think I'm gonna lock that in. Yeah, I'm tempted to put the lessons like a little bit more if I'm gonna like shave percentages, right? Like I don't know, maybe the lessons is like 23 or something like that. But I'll stick with this. I think this is fine.
Okay. So the meta percentages at the World Championship are: is it lessons? 18%.
Wow, that was pretty close.
Yeah, really
pretty
close. Right on, dude. I swear to God, you would fit right in with the competitive Magic scene because you love the same things that the degenerate, most spiky pros love.
It's the Yu-Gi-Oh brain. I can't help it.
Oh God, yeah. All the cards. Oh yeah. So the next two, they're pretty close together, and we're gonna go with Teamer Otters at 16%.
So Otters was above. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
But not by a lot. Band combo airbending is at 13%. So you really were only
That's
off
the
by a
wrong
couple
choice.
percentage on each.
Really? Yeah. I was wrong that airbending was. Why is the Otters deck, in your opinion, above the airbending deck?
I think that the Otters, and this is a harder one to know, but it runs more known cards. Like the Otters deck was an entity, and it had done some competitive damage in the past, though not a ton. It was kind of a fringe player, but a lot of like name pros had played it in past events. So Otters out of these decks has the most cards in it that aren't new. All right. So if you're starting your deck from a place of I already know these cards are good in the format and none of these cards got banned in the recent ban wave, you might start with Otters. The entire Otter combo was available before, except for the Badger Mole Cub. So this is the deck that runs the least new cards, with Badger Mole Cub being the one that it turbocharges the deck. It takes everything up a level. So in that sense, it would be easy to come upon the Otters deck without doing as much testing of new cards.
Right.
Or you might even say acquiring new cards, because I mean, if you're in the World Championships and first prize is $100,000, you'd like to think you would find your Badger Mole Cups, but this little fucker is like $80-some last week
That's
per
crazy.
copy, and they're
I
hard
believe
to find. Like,
Yeah.
I opened one across all the products I opened, so I don't have a playset of Badger
It's a
Mole
mythic.
Cups.
It's a
Yeah.
mythic, so that makes
They-
sense.
What they were freaking doing.
They did know what they were doing. Yeah.
All right,
But
now
I guess that makes sense though, right? I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe it's just more my Yu-Gi-Oh brain. It's like I just feel like the Eng deck's more unfair, but I mean it's we're splitting hairs in terms of percentages here. So I mean,
But dude, that's what we're here for. The yap, right?
that's
It's
true.
the
We're
yap.
yeah.
So we gotta have things to talk about. We now have our meta picture. It doesn't get easier for you.
Oh no,
So-
I
but
I
that
meant
thing
to
can have that
go for
gun.
Ishkimaru.
Okay.
Assign
wow.
win rates to these three decks now that
Oh,
you know your meta
jeez.
picture.
Okay. So wait. So what was the? Put in what the actual percentages were, just so I can see. It was 18.
Oh yeah.
The lessons was 18, 16, 13. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't too far off. Okay. Win rates. Okay. This is across like the entirety of the World Championship, not like top cut or anything like that.
Yep. If I give you the top cut first, it'll really influence this. So
I
want
bet
this
you.
to
I
be-
bet. Yeah, yeah.
I want this to be properly challenging.
Win rates. Hmm. Yeah, if you get because that's the thing. Like, if you give me the top cut, then that would skew everything. I do feel like the Is It Lessons deck is the better of the three. I do feel so. I'm going to skew the win rate for that one probably a bit higher compared to the others.
And historically speaking, win rates at pro events don't get above like. I mean, I imagine it's like that in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, what's the average Yu-Gi-Oh win rate for a good deck?
They don't really track that. Unlike
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
this might be extra challenging for you. I was going to give you a range. I want to
was
see
gonna
what
say
you
like
say.
what's the ceiling? Like what like let me at least stay to earth on this.
I mean,
Or okay, I mean if that influences it, I guess I'll just go in blind. But
yeah, I actually think it'll be funny to go in blind. I really want to know what you'll say.
sure.
I'm very curious. I think Magic players are very curious what you think a busted win rate is.
That's a really
How
fun
many
deck.
like rounds do they play?
16.
I mean, at 60, but this is just for the standard decks. Like that's not talking about limited, right?
I think there are options Is it lessons it had that just made it so good against these, and what other decks that did well against the Is It Lessons decks had is they just didn't lose to cheap creatures. They said,
Right.
we're gonna, because they can run cards like Firebending Lesson, Combustion Technique, and Iroh's Demonstration that just make sure that cheap creatures are removed. They're getting
Right.
value while they're killing off, just building machine guns for your cheap creatures and gunning
Right.
them down. And then they outvalue you with whatever. It turns out the best value engine that you could then use on somebody whose cheap creatures you were gunning down was Accumulate Wisdom, Monument to Endurance, and Artist Talent to just
Sure.
draw your whole
The
freaking
Maho Maho
deck
deck,
and
Yeah.
burn
that
them out.
definitely wasn't how I expected.
Exactly
I'm
what
not
they
sure
did.
if that's
It was,
always how
if
Maho
you
Maho
like
plays
watching this kind of
or
magic,
not,
the footage from the
but
World
like, yeah,
Championships, round
nobody
after
expects the calm
round
before the gong, man.
round
That
after round,
that card is
it's just
fucking
Is It
ridiculous.
Lessons?
I can't believe that only costs
Burning them down,
one
murdering cubs, and then murdering
colorless.
each other's grands. That's what the whole freaking footage is.
That's
It's
funny.
wild. It's wild.
It appears my stall
So,
decks lose
the
to
top
decks
eight.
that stall
You
harder,
want to take a guess at the
and my
copies of the
aggro
top
decks
eight?
lose
These are
to decks that aggro harder.
Top eight.
Which means
Let's
our
go
decks
with
aren't
our
leaning
top
hard
eight
enough to their
all
win
the
con.
elites.
Which I don't know.
Okay.
I kinda don't
going
like
to
that
grade you
idea.
on the copies of these decks. But
I'll go with-
6 out of the top 8 are from this pool.
I kinda don't like that
It's
revelation.
these two. Actually,
You nailed it. Like,
I would have looked so smart. I would have looked.
should have just fired off the cuff, bro.
I should have. I'm gonna go with 4-1-1.
4-1-1. So
4 being the lessons, 1 of the other.
4 were lessons. Nice.
Okay.
1 was crab version and 3 were non-crab talent monument. Copies of otters. No copies of airbed.
Aang! Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Aang got shut out of the Avatar event. I know.
Rip Aang.
I know. A disaster. A true
Yep.
disaster. With last year's world champion was on an Aang deck as well, which was
No
Mm,
plot
may as
armor.
well.
yeah. No, apparently not in Magic the Gathering. And the world champion would, of course, go to the lessons deck with Monument Birds in it. A fun anecdote from watching this event: they had the person who was running the most successful version of the crab deck. He was on camera something like 4 or 5 rounds on day 3, which is an insane amount of games to play on camera. His name is Derek Davis. And the reason was he was like the #1 undefeated overnight. Went into the day only needing this many wins to lock top 8. Then he got matched up against the Is It Lessons deck with the monument in it, rounds in a row, and he lost. And he lost.
Oh, not like this. Not like this.
Yeah, he literally went from win any of these and you're in, and he lost 3 in a row on camera. And then in the last round, he had to win to have a chance, a tiebreaker chance. But he pulled it off, and he made top 8. But
Oh, that's God.
it was
Talk about the drama. Wow.
yeah. What a story. It was wild, and it was like painful to watch him round after round after round, getting dumpstered by the same deck over and over and over, because it became really obvious what the better lessons deck in the mirror was by a mile, and then you just watch him play that match again and again and again, and it was hard, dude. It was hard.
Right. It's one of those things where it's like when you realize it too, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but your cards are your cards. Like, you could kind of, if you pay really close attention, you could see him in real time trying everything he could with the sideboard and all these things. And then in the top 8, he lost the lessons again.
Wow.
Like, what could you do? But, as he put it, he just found the right deck, but the wrong version. The more resilient version was the one that didn't rely on creatures for the.
And let's be honest, a top 8 at the World Championship is still something to be proud of, right?
So is finding the right deck. Like, really did just like one step away, one little step away. But anyway, their Magic the Gathering world champion on Is It Lessons is Seth Manfield. Now, I want to know something. We're going to talk a little drama here. Drama here at the end. What is the Yu-Gi-Oh policy on takesy backsies in tournament?
No.
What happens? What happens if you try to take some backsies?
I mean, it honestly depends on your opponent. Like, if you try to take something back and your opponent lets you, then, like, technically nothing could stop you. But, like, if you play and then you're like, oh, can I do something else? And your opponent's like, nah, you committed to the play. Like, you're stuck with it. Like,
yeah, let's take agency away from the opponent. There are active judges watching, right? Enforcing like what the rules are. Is there a world where you cast a spell like obviously this gets really technical, right? Because when have you technically made a play? When you announce it? Is it when you put your card from the hand onto the field? Is it when you remove your hand from the
My
card?
God, next level rules lawyering bullshit.
Does Yu-Gi-Oh have any clear rules on this?
I want to say for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like if you, the gurus in the comments will probably know better than I do, but it's really like, you're supposed to
Next level rules sharking. That's the word I was looking for.
When you commit to the play, as in like you have played the card,
and I would assume the card is on the field.
Yeah, the card is on the field, and it was like legally put there. Like, let's assume like you accidentally. Then like you've committed to that play.
I think it's really interesting because Yu-Gi-Oh has no card, right? So I think having played the card, if there is
we have costs.
I know you're going to say there's other
There's
costs, but let's
there's
just
gonna
go
be
really
there
basic.
are like
If I
conditions and
put
stuff,
my
and sometimes
guy. There's no like paying for the mana. Gotcha.
Yeah.
sometimes
So
if you decide you're
drop
gonna
it like
take
that,
something
usually
back,
I take that back.
when you're in the process of a chain war,
You're
uh,
technically not
that's
supposed to. But
that's a
like,
reason
you
why
say, "Oh,
takesies
can I do
backsies
something
just
else?"
can't exist in
Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
then, like technically, yeah.
That's
Like
really
simulators
agency on
don't
my
do
part in
that.
this case. Yeah.
Again, like you're not supposed
Automatic
to do that,
simulators because
but like technically, you can. And, like,
putting
people
some
try it all the time. They'll be like, "Oh,
readjusting
shit,
the
I'm playing the wrong
FIFO
cards."
stack like that,
People
Philo
try to take.
Okay.
Like you're supposed to commit to it.
rather.
How about you, Mr. YouTuber Simo guy?
That's hard to program, man.
I'm playing like
Impossible,
tournament,
impractical, and oftentimes unnecessary because that's what a Philo stack is.
No, you played it. It played. Yeah.
And I feel like it's awkward being in like the content creator role, right? Because it's like, when we're doing content, we're all friendly and having fun and a good time and all that stuff. And I think people try to take advantage of that because it's like you don't want to look like a dick, but at the same time you're playing in a tournament, right? So it's like I think people try to give part of like play the card. I think they tried to play the angle of, oh, he doesn't want to look bad, so he's going to let me take it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of content creators, what I'm saying in that regard.
Oh yeah, and there's on the other side, there's also like people get more nervous when you play a content creator, so that they have they have kind of that reason to point to. But
I also have
still a tournament.
I have the reverse experience where I feel that I don't want to like make a mistake. Let's say I've done this before. I've accidentally like done a play that I'm not like that's like in a play or something like that because I just like missed something that's on the board or whatever. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to cheat someone. Yes. But like again, because of our position in the community, I think it's like I get anxious.
Am I even gonna have a chance to play Full
That
Moon?
would come off that I'm trying to like stump someone. You know what I mean? Like that'd be like the worst case scenario.
Our career is
no
on the
ill
line.
intention whatsoever.
Our career is on the line if we screw up bad enough and somebody who's online says we're cheating, was on camera, and they can prove it. Like it doesn't can't screw up that badly. I'm thinking of like recent drama in Riftbound. Like it's really brutal when that happens. And as a content creator, I empathize a lot with creators who are screwed up on camera because it's happened across all kinds of card games. And
I think it's like self-fulfilling.
Yeah,
I think it's self-fulfilling and too for us because then it's like we get nervous that we don't want to make a mistake and get perceived as like something like that. So then we get even more nervous and then it becomes cyclical.
Right? Yeah, and I can't prove if somebody is cheating or not. I can't prove that they aren't. At the same time, I definitely can imagine myself in that situation. I've seen plenty of people get accused of cheating for things I know I've done. And I know I didn't intend to do it.
Yeah. People somehow have this tendency to do a narrative that frustrates them the most about a person. Like if they do something stupid or do something sharky or annoying, you're gonna say, oh, they're intentionally rage baiting or they know exactly what they're doing. Or like when they're doing something and then you see that there's something else they could be doing, you immediately say, oh, they're fucking stupid and unaware and bullshit. I don't know. That explanation didn't come out correctly, but
in Magic are actually from back when I played. When I played a card, you were locked in on playing. Every word you said, like, affect how the game progressed. If somebody casts a spell and you said okay, but then said, "Wait, I counter that," you were already like, "Nope, you missed that. You missed that." I'm Commander show here, where
but the chain has already begun resolving.
To work out the way it did. Commander show going back is no big. But in that show, They said, nope, we're past that point. You can't go back. I was like, wow. Okay, so we're playing like that here. I'm down. By the way, for the record, I am down. I use myself to more stuff in Commander on my Commander show than I hold anybody else to. I'm down for a throne. I actually get excited when at the World Championship. It becomes so different. So Seth Manfield is in this position where the cost, the mana cost for the card. He puts the card on the table. He declares the target for the card. Frame base. So when it resolves, he draws a card, right? And he's targeting his own monument. So he has put it on the table. He has paid the cost. Said boomerang base, like he has acknowledged that he's played it. His opponent says, okay. The opponent has acknowledged that it's solving. Before he draws the card, realizes there's only 4 cards left in his. If he draws this card, he won't have enough cards left in his deck to do the discard draw effect of Artist Talent to kill his opponent with Monument. So he says, may I take that back after like a 30-second pause. He hasn't drawn the card yet, and the judge allows it. Very controversial. Not only, obviously, like people were just looking away, doing other things, playing Arena on the side or Sword Magic cards. Heard person who wanted to be the world champion.
Man, I hate when you play around things so well.
Say, can I take this back? And the judge said yes. So it was very triggering to people who don't believe X's. But within the rules, he didn't do anything wrong. He hadn't gained knowledge. If he had drawn the card, in theory he couldn't. If I hadn't
gained knowledge because the opponent said that was okay to resolve.
That is the gray area and the thing that is the most controversial. Yes. Yeah, that is the controversial part.
Because now you know and granted the opponent could still have something to back with it. Essentially know 90%, right, that is going something is going to have something to stop you or track you. Right?
Okay. So I have a
no, go ahead. And I just to preface, I have no for anything with any. Well, I'm just analyzing this here talking. So I just to put that out there, I'm not going after it.
Right. And for the record, I have what I would call a creator friendship with Seth. Yeah. Like we've interacted and done podcasts.
We excel when we're in the middle.
And I'm gonna say it again.
But against extremes, we don't have any real counterplay. It's a strange position to be in, especially since we're a Diva deck. When you're playing Diva, your strategy's a lot more linear than typical. Than art styles decks. Arts decks, they do have recollection stuff, and those are pretty vital and important. Those are some of the most powerful arts you could be playing. Those do still encourage you to play in a somewhat linear manner, essentially forcing you to play your non-recollect cards as early as possible.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel that would never happen.
But for the most part, those non-recollects, you're in no real rush to play those.
If it's allowed, right, the optics of it. I think that's the large. Yes, we're gonna look at objective capital T, right? What's
Over pursuit feels awkward the more I play with it.
Obviously not.
But it is how the rule, it did follow how the rules are written, so whether or not people like it,
I'm gonna try playing 4 rice cookers.
Because it is kind of an old mentality now in Magic of, no, you played that, you have to play that. Because that's how it used to be. They all straight up bullied each other in the game.
Right, and there are some people who take backs. I don't care if you take back because I want you to do the play because I want to beat you play, not because of a technicality thing.
Right, and that's what are trying to.
Right, exactly. So I don't think I think it's the bigger fact that behind it. I think more as like a here. I think you and I sort of that lens compared to like non-content
I've been
creators.
thinking about
So I think
playing
it's kind of
Lancelot or
just
whatever her name was.
unfortunately probably just
The problem is
win.
it just doesn't work well with flashcards. I could get rid of flashcards and play and play something else in place. But they don't have 8,000 defense. But like so far, it hasn't really. I haven't really appreciated flashcards 8,000 power all that much. So like there's an argument to be made that maybe I don't really care all that much anyways.
Action that the opponent could have. Their entire
And there's also the fact that I am still playing Over Pursuit. I play Lancelot. Over Pursuit is gonna be a lot harder to play in mid game, which is the only time now with how relevant arts decks are again.
Yeah, so we were talking about the knowledge, and that was the debate because you knew now that the boomerang basically, and I agree with you. I agree that that is a contentious part of this. So with open decklist, you could also argue that the judge, other player, and Seth all in theory that they memorized and thought through everything correctly. Knew that there was no interactive.
Yeah, this is a lot stronger because it's not limited to just 3,000. I don't need to have 3 whites.
Because if there wasn't, what does it matter then?
Yeah, that is the debatable part.
Like
Yeah.
the whole being able to enter charge, it's nice. But I feel like I should be comfortable with not being able to activate that.
You wouldn't know. No way to confirm. But with all that information, know that there's no way that that can be interacted with
I'll
regardless.
try it.
I like that's even the odd issue on this. I know that might be an answer that a lot of people don't like, but I don't know. I guess that stands.
And for the super tryhards out there, you can go check the
Doesn't feel.
two cards that could have interacted in that moment. One had already been played, known information. That card was spent. Other, the mana wasn't available. So in theory, there was no information.
Yeah, and the current meta landscape just isn't all that
and
good.
I really wanted your take as a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
Flashcards' bouncing ability was on such a low scale anyway, it may as well. Oh, and also this is neutral. The biggest downside is that it has to be the third attack, which means there's a very good chance if we're punching face as we usually do with this deck, that a life burst comes out and just ruins our day.
But there's also part of me that was like, God, I like so many nights I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit because somebody used kind of a rule technicality to get me. You know?
Right,
and it felt
exactly.
really bad.
Especially when the pressure's high at the world champion. Right? It's like nerves, like there's a lot going on, tons going on. Right? It's like I actually think this best outcome, even though optically play well in the eyes of no. I think the correct most positive outcome technically.
For the on the drama, I know I appreciate it. I'm sure the audience appreciates it. Yep. And thanks for checking out the decks. And the other, like, literally been a whole year of blue and red decks. They banned Corey Steelcutter and BB. They banned BB. When did they ban Grand Grand?
When did they ban Tigers? That's what we're holding out for.
Tiger Seal showed up. Turns out one.
Did it actually?
It was a part of the Is It Looting deck, which was a whole different archetype, but it lost out to Grand Grand. Yep. 1 mana 3/3. Nope. 1 mana 1/2.
Grand we trust.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna give Lepus a try again. It does suck having to pay. Especially now that we're going in with the expectation that over pursuit isn't gonna net neutral as often anymore. Hmm? They say they're alright, somebody else. Let's pray for the best. I should go to bed soon. Not ideal. Jesus Christ. I could have gotten rid of the servant zero instead.
Can I get one Mitsugiri Abakiri? Sorry? Can I get a medium double double?
Is this Milano? Sorry. Monster. Wait, light game bug. Why can't I attack? Forget to activate it? No, I did. Oh.
I think that's true.
Oh, I did click it. Such a fucking asshole. As if the game. God, you guys are so annoying. Honestly, that's. Oh man, how many people got pissed off by that? Huh? Huh? Yeah, got him good. Got him good. Incredible. Loud is funny. That's the hack.
I play Pot of Greed, which allows me to shove 2 more cards up my ass. Have to watch. Dual disc when you got this.
Don't summon me or my son ever again. Well, this episode, by the way, I think it was the first appearance of Bakura, and I don't know how his story went. The civilian meme. Classic. Classic. Forbidden Lance, Chalice, Dress, Spellbound, Droplet, Scripture, Crown, 05, Men's, Blood, Shampoo, Body Wash, Face, Mouthwash, Deodorant, Peanut Butter, Gatorade. Good way to summarize Forbidden Crown, honestly.
Hey, young. Emma. My Arabs like to sing. So great.
Ukraine. Alright, this isn't funny for anyone except people who speak Arabic. That's good. Buster Dragon, a vanilla level 6 from 2002. Now limited to 1 in dueling. Your game sucks. Oh my god, that's insane. Wait, what? Starter and hold by basically? Oh my god, alright, dude. You actually could pick a better hand. Can you pick up a card on your way home? My coworker's husband just got deported. Adios. The fuck is wrong? Okay, to be fair, that's not the occasion for a card. No? Like, husband got deported? What kind of real card would you even get them? Sorry for your loss? Like, that's not a card situation. Don't let him intimidate you. Try to imagine him without his mask. No, he's hot. Greatest branded player. And you get a new ultra rare, not what I'm called.
What do you mean?
So ass.
Okay, April is a trans person. I was gonna say, we have women who play, and I thought of the YouTuber branded player
It's funny because he hates Malice.
April, and then I just realized, yeah,
No,
there,
it's not me. I
she's
just
trans.
Me when the new pack is live. Dude, my memes are so ass. Oh, yeah. What do you guys think? 10 out of 10.
Anyway, we're fucking die now. I am dying now. Goodbye. Thank you forever.
I don't know, man. The little bullet sounds is. I love that. Is that fucking Goku? Christ. This is real. This is the GX dub. GX dub is notoriously ridiculous. Yeah, GX dub is like that is real. That's they bought people and they made them do that for some.
It's like a costume party. Yes. Want some pancakes?
Wait, this is also Goku. Dude, I don't know what was going on with GX. I don't get it. Like what were they doing? I don't know. Alright, the first place submission.
This was GX's concept
Ah, yes.
of comedy
We will impulse the
that
card.
was hip with children.
Miserable.
Honestly,
Oh, we're playing it out?
I would have
Okay,
laughed
alright.
if I
Nice.
didn't find everything about GX just so fucking boring.
Okay.
School settings have
No,
never
great time.
interested me.
Nice.
Unfortunately, a
that's
lot of
gorgeous.
Japanese media is
Guys, why is your
school
post on fire?
settings. I don't know what their fetish is with it.
This might go somewhere.
Oh, that's a lie. I know.
Uh-oh.
I just refuse to.
Oh, no.
I just refuse to fucking
Oh, okay,
empathize with it.
No. Oh my god. I wish it actually played it out so you what happens. Okay. That's a good Pokemon name. Which one?
That's kind of mean. That's most polite racist.
Typical RPG character, just gutsy. It's just a little bit of a jump scare every time. Sorry, I'll just front of it. Looks like some shit like 2008. What is this? Was that part of your message, Marcus? That part of your message? Hey, whoa, get on the fire, get on the fire, get on the fire, get on the fire. Dude, this is a lucid dream. Like, this is just a sleep paralysis demon. Do it again. I don't need. All right, I just buddy. How about some geo?
like what? When you're all packed for to go to a YCS just to go OP drop. We work on the spelling. Porn, all songs played at the same time. I mean, like, to be fair, that just sounds like most porn albums.
And fuck me too while you're at it, wouldn't you? Not much we can do against that matchup. I don't know, mid-range shouldn't fold so easily. Maybe I can replace All Out Battle. What if I went with Calm before the Gom as well? It would be most comedic, though I wonder if it would be most effective.